Hey tubers, Bart coming at you with a contest response, and then I'll finish up with a little mail day. But contest response is for Rick over at Vintage Oddball Cards. Doing a contest, show off your miscut and OC cards, as he's got a couple of what I would call gems in his PC that carry some qualifiers, but he got I'm sure a pretty good discount compared to what he would get the cards for without. And so, sometimes we add those types of cards to our PC. So I wanted to hear our thoughts about them and see what we got in our PC. So, in general, I avoid the qualifiers. I've never had one with a PD in my collection at all. I don't mind print defects on cards as much because it's the company's fault. But as in most of the qualifier, or as in all the qualifiers, I just don't like seeing that stuff on the label. It's kind of messes with me a little bit. So that's kind of the biggest reason I avoid them. Aesthetically, I don't like the miscuts and the OCs, especially when you talk about the older stuff, which is typically where we're talking about with a lot of the qualifiers and where it really matters and things like that. But most of those cards got white borders or some sort of border that is, a predominant or, significant color. And so, it's pretty obvious when you see the miscut and OC. So I've avoided them. Try not to let them into the PC or whatever. For baseball and things like that, avoiding them has honestly been one of my excuses to prevent me from buying too many cards in the first place. I'm like, there's a good card, but it's got a qualifier, and I find a reason to talk myself out of it type of thing. So it works for me, I guess. But I do have a couple. I got 7 here to show you. I got 8 total in the PC, but one I display at work. So get into it. 52 Bowman Large, Buck Shaw, the coach. Last year I was trying to get above 95% complete in 50s tops, or 50s decade set, not tops because there's Bowmans in there as well. Of the 49ers, get over above 95% on a vintage set like that, then you're eligible for an award. So I needed to get a couple of simple pickups of cards that just were not popping in the grades that I was looking for over the years. And so I managed to snag this one in an 8 off center. Still going to look for a 7 or an 8 in a palatable price, I would say. But until then, I got a nice placeholder. So picture looks great, color's great. Borders are just off, right? Next one here, another set filler, 66 Bosley, 9 off center. I've seen it in a 7, and I just figured for the same price I got the 9 OC, where it looked relatively the same, but a little sharper. I have not seen this card in an 8 in a reasonable price. The once or twice I've ever seen it, and there's one I think right out now on 4 sharp. It's been there forever on 4 sharp corners, but I used to shop significantly on 4 sharp corners, so much so that I was on the Christmas card list, and I was getting the 20 signatures of the people that worked in the shop on the Christmas card for a couple years in a row. And so I'm pretty sure they were following what sets I was doing, and when they found a card that I didn't have yet, the price was always exorbitant type of thing, especially some of these vintage Niners, because I'm sure I was the only one building those types of sets. So they listed him, and it's always been crazy. So I got the lower grade just to fill the set to get 100% in the 60s, and then still got my fingers crossed that eventually an 8 will go for what a normal 66-8 goes for, as opposed to all the other stuff. And then pretty much the rest I've subbed myself. So 88 stickers, one of the billion variations. This one's got Shane Collin and Tony Casillas on there. Got an 8 and a stain. I subbed that. I still have no idea where the stain is on this card. Yeah, can't find it. Every once in a while you see there's like 3, 4 tiny, pinhead, different type of, print, whatever on here. It's not stained because it's not something that was, introduced to the card, in my opinion, afterwards. It's not like it's a pen dot or something like that, but super tiny stuff. And I'm nitpicking completely because all the cards back in the day had those, but I can't find the stain on that. But, for $6.50 is what I probably subbed this at back in the day, to fill up that Master Top set of his, because, that's what I'm going to take, right? And I'm not paying much more to find another one. especially for stickers, man. You can't get me to pay much for stickers. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I've subbed a lot of them myself, and here's some more. 84 stickers. There's Dwight Clark on one side, Mike Pagel on the other side. This one pulled a 9 OC for the Clark Master Top set. Another one for the Clark Master Tops. These 83s are real tough. Quality control was just horrific. And so this was by far and away the sharpest thing I could find. Got a 9 miscut. You know, if it wasn't miscut and it was centered, it'd be a gem, and no question about it, because it's perfect otherwise. But they jacked it up pretty good. But 9 miscut, and that's a pop 1, none higher. I think this one's a pop 1, none higher as well. Got a 9 OC for a different 83 top sticker, Dwight Clark. And then subbed this one, not realizing it was off center. So you'd think I'd have gotten a lot more of those as many times as I've subbed Jerry Rice's cards. But this is my lone Jerry Rice off center. And it has to do with, because I have the silver version, which is a more base version, and this is the gold from 99 Absolute SSD. But that bottom black border is real small compared to that one. And that's what it is. Because the amount of black on these ovals and stuff like that in the die cut match the silver one pretty much exactly. And that's number 7. Number 8 is a 1965 Freedom War paratrooper card. One of my cooler jobs in the military, fair number of years back, was jumping on airplanes, and Uncle Sam paying me for it. And I just I got a couple of cards that are slabbed that have those types of things on them from the 60s and back in the day. I just think they display pretty cool at work. So I got that one there. So couldn't show it to you, but it's still pretty cool. And some of those neat non-sports card sets of the 60s and 50s and stuff are worthy of checking out if you haven't before. But that's what I got for you for the miscut and OCs. So shout out to Rick for doing the contest, and I hope it gets your channel some attention there. And good topic. Mail day. Sneak this in real quick. Got this sweet insert out of 98 Pacific Paramount. Barry Bonds with the glove. And it is die cut like a champ, and all of these little things are cut out. So that is real nice looking. And some more Nats autos. Matt Williams from 15 Heritage. That's numbered at a 12. Archive Signature Series there. So pretty cool. I was pretty excited when he became the manager because I grew up a Giants fan, and he was on the Giants. And I always kind of identified as a third baseman back then. I just thought that was the coolest position. So he was the third baseman. So pretty cool. And he won NL Manager of the Year for us. So that was pretty nice. What is this, 2000 Finest? I just thought this was a great looking card. It was relatively cheap, but Shaq holding some trophies. That'll display nice. And then another Nats one. This is kind of cool. So Nats have the main mascot, which is an eagle called Screech. But they also have like these 4 pseudo mascots that do a race. At all the home games. During the 7th inning stretch, I think. They're all presidents, basically, dudes with giant heads. And so they got Teddy Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, Washington, and Jefferson. And so I picked up the Teddy auto, president number 26 there. The George Washington is listed as well. I'll probably pick that up at some point. I clicked watch on like 2 of them, hoping that the seller would, send me one of those discounted prices. And I could pick it up for a little bit cheaper. That's how I got this one. I just clicked watch at like 20 bucks. Dude sent me an offer at 10. Yeah, all right. You got me. So, snagged that. And then, bought a card off a buddy. Digging this. He, we all 49ers guys, we talk about it in one of the Facebook collectors groups. We are all waiting 2+ years now on contenders redemptions for the coach, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, and still haven't gotten them. He harassed Panini, I guess, and they gave him this instead. And I said that was pretty sweet, and he said, you know, toss me $50 and it's yours. And I said, I can do that. And he threw in some extras as well. So I got the Nick Bosa, really looking nice there. And I actually really like the mags with the stickers on them. Untouched kind of thing, uncirculated, in my opinion there. But he threw in some extras to include a National Treasures, Matt Breida, C.J. Beathard, which is pretty sweet. Can't beat a National Treasures extra. And then Fred Warner's kind of my guy. And he sent 2 of his base rookies in from playoff. Not base rookies. 2 of his rookies in from playoff. This one's at a 10. A little hard to see there. Not a whole lot of glitz and glamour there for a 10. That's 4th down. So I don't even know that variation, to be honest with you. This one's at a 49, and that one's 2nd down. And then I just thought this one was really cool looking. Matt Scherzer from 2015 Finest, 95 Finest lookalike insert. And toss this one on a card saver because this is going to get a sub out of me. I either have one of these at PSA or I know I have one of these, and I either subbed it already or I didn't think it was worthy of a sub. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But this one's still worthy of a sub, so much so that even if I already subbed one, I'm going to send this one too. It's a thick leather card. Appears great. And the back, you could tell, is one of those ones that would just be susceptible to chipping real bad. And yet it has none of that there. It's just a great looking card. So, and he did throw a stack of some Nationals and stuff too. So, Mike, much appreciated for that care package to go along with the card. And that's what I got for you. Happy Sunday. Seems like I'm making plenty of content nowadays. I don't know. Hopefully it's quality content for you all, but I'm enjoying it. So thanks for watching. Until next time.